I want to thank you, Alfonso. I want to take a moment just to, I'm definitely feeling overwhelmed and in a good way. Just to see all these beautiful faces and all these creeds and all these different walks of life and political spectrum, my friends, this is unity. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me something more valuable than your vote tonight, your time. Time is the one thing none of us get back. The fact that you've chosen to spend yours here tells me something. It tells me you believe our community is worth fighting for. So do I. Before I go any further, I want to thank the people who made tonight possible. To David Patterson, thank you for so generously opening your home to all of us. To my mom, who was in the kitchen before 4 o'clock this morning preparing food for everyone, fresh food. To JD Sanford, thank you for the incredible brisket. I see you. To Terry Cummings, Rick Austin, Donna, Jeff Kaufman, Jim Camp, our precinct chairs, the KBAD family, the DAD family, every candidate, every elected official, every volunteer, every donor, every community organization represented here tonight, and everyone who has poured their heart into this movement. Thank you. And if I missed your name, please know I don't miss your contribution. This campaign belongs to all of us. This November, we're facing more than an election. We're facing a choice between two very different ideas of leadership. One believes government begins with power. I believe government begins with people. One measures success by what is built. I measure success by what we have the wisdom to protect. One believes success is measured by how quickly we grow. I believe success is measured by how responsibly we grow. I believe water comes first. I believe in sustainable development, responsible development, and protecting the very resources that make Hays County such a special place to call home. One believes leadership is about holding power. I believe leadership is about earning trust. That is a choice before us. Many people have asked me why I chose to launch our general election campaign here in Buda. The answer is simple: because Buda matters. I've heard from so many people in this community that they want to feel heard. They want to feel represented. They want to know their county government sees them, listens to them, and values them. That's why I wanted the very first message of our general election campaign to begin here. Because no community should ever feel forgotten. And as your next Hays County Commissioner, one of my first commitments will be to open a full-time commissioner's office right here in Buda. It's about time. Because government shouldn't be something you have to chase. It should meet people where they are. It should be present, accessible, accountable. That's the kind of leadership I believe in. I didn't decide to run because I wanted a title. I decided to run because I care. I care about the young family wondering if they'll still be able to afford to live here. The small business owner pouring everything they have into a dream. The senior hoping they can remain on the land they've loved for decades. The parent wondering whether there will be enough clean water for the next generation. Now, my story isn't one of privilege, it's one of perseverance. I was raised by a single mother who taught me that your word matters, that integrity matters, that when you see something wrong, you don't wait for someone else to fix it, you step forward. Everything I've accomplished, from building businesses to helping families find a place to call home, has been rooted in one simple belief: people come first. This campaign wasn't built by powerful interests. It wasn't built by POCs. It wasn't built in boardrooms. It was built by neighbors, by volunteers, by people who believe Hays County deserves leadership that listens, shows up, and puts people first. That's what gives me hope. Because when ordinary people decide they care, extraordinary things begin to happen. And that's exactly how this campaign began, Darlene. Not with power, not with money, not with political influence. It began with care. It began with care, but care is only the beginning. Care means little unless it becomes action. And action guided by principle becomes stewardship. That is what public service should be. A commissioner is not simply entrusted with budgets, roads, or projects. A commissioner is entrusted with something far greater: a place, a people, a future. There's an old saying: we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Amen. I believe we borrow Hays County too. For a little while, the county is placed in our hands. The question is not what we can take from it. The question is what we will leave behind. Here in Buda, the question is real. It lives in the congestion on FM 967 that steals time from working families. It lives in protecting our aquifers before they are depleted. Yes. Yeah. It lives in defending property rights, preserving the character of our communities, and making sure growth never outruns the resources that sustain it. I believe in opportunity. I believe in responsible business. I believe in growth, but growth must follow water. And I will oppose high water demand development when it threatens the long-term health of our aquifers and our communities. Because prosperity should never come at the expense of the water that sustains life. We certainly cannot drink money. The first step toward good leadership is learning not to believe every promise that sounds good. Because not every project is progress. Not every dollar is worth taking. Not every opportunity serves the people. Wisdom is having the courage to ask, who benefits? Who pays the price? Will our children thank us for this decision 50 years from now? Public office is a public trust. It belongs to the people. Every decision should honor that trust. The people deserve to know that every vote is cast because it is right, not because it is expected. They deserve to know that their commissioner answers first to the families who live here, public service as something of every elected official. It asks us to be able to look at every resident in the eye and know that our judgment cannot be bought, that our priorities cannot be borrowed, and that our loyalty belongs to the people we serve. Because once people begin wondering who government is really working for, public trust begins to disappear. Independence is not a slogan, it is a responsibility. Now, let me tell you a simple story. There's an old story about a man walking along a beach after a great storm. The shoreline was covered with thousands of starfish that had been washed ashore. One by one, he bent down, picked one up, and gently threw it back in the ocean. Another traveler watched for a while before finally saying, "There are thousands of them. You'll never save them all. What you're doing can't possibly make a difference." The man bent down, picked up another starfish, tossed it into the water, smiled, and replied, "It made all the difference to that one." I've always loved that story because that's how real change begins.
Yes.
Not all at once. One person, one conversation, one act of courage. One neighbor deciding that they can make a difference. That's this campaign. We may not have the biggest checkbooks. We may not have the wealthiest interests behind us, but we have something far more powerful: people. Neighbors talking to neighbors, families believing in a better future, volunteers giving their evenings, small gifts carrying enormous hope. One conversation, one family, one act of faith at a time. That is what grassroots looks like. Now, let me leave you with one thought. One generation plants a tree, save it. Another generation rests beneath its shade. Neither generation ever truly owns it. They simply decide whether there will be shade for the next family. That is stewardship. That is our ethos. One day, this election will be over, our names will fade, but Hays County will remain. Children we've never met will drink the water we protected. Families we've never known will travel the roads we had the wisdom to improve. Neighbors will never meet will enjoy the parks, neighborhoods, and open spaces we chose to preserve. They may never know who we were, but they will live with what we left behind. Leadership is not measured by what we keep, it is measured by what we preserve. And we won't always agree, nor should we. Whether you voted Republican your whole life, whether you've always been a Democrat, or whether you're proudly independent, this county belongs to all of us. Because before we're anything else, we're neighbors. And neighbors share a responsibility to care for the place they call home. So don't leave here simply inspired. Leave here committed. Carry this vision with you. Volunteer. Invite one more neighbor into this movement. And if you believe Hays County is worth protecting, help us build it. Invest in it. Bring one more neighbor. Knock one more door, Miss Judy. And if you're able, make a contribution tonight. Because this movement isn't financed by a handful of powerful interests. It is sustained by hundreds of ordinary people who refuse to give up on the place they love. $5, $20, $50, whatever you can give. You're not simply funding a campaign, you're investing in the future of Hays County. Because this campaign isn't powered from the top down, it's built from the ground up, neighbor by neighbor, conversation by conversation. So let me ask you, do you believe public office is a public trust?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do you believe your commissioner should answer first to the people? Okay. Is Hays County worth protecting?
Yes.
Right. Okay, this got to be the big one. Are you ready? Are our aquifers worth protecting?
Yes.
So then let's build that future together. May the rivers still run clear. May the live oaks continue reaching toward the Texas sky. May children yet unborn laugh beneath their branches. May this county never lose the character that brought us here or the courage to protect what makes it home. If we leave them that, we will have done more than win an election. We will have honored the trust placed in our hands. Let's go win in November. I am yours, not theirs. Thank you. I am yours, not theirs.